My top tip for today is hoof and foot care. So we have Ted as our model again, who's really enjoying the solarium here. If we're getting them ready in these dry bays, we quite like to put the solarium on, just warms their backs up nicely and gets them ready for the riding. I'm a bit of a stickler as well, and I ask for them to pick their hooves out before they come out of the stable every time, because not only are you taking out the bedding so you don't mess the yard up, but you're also checking to make sure that no shoes move. They could have easily rolled, caught a shoe, have moved it, and if they walk on it, then they could really damage their foot. Whenever they've been out on a ride, we pick their feet out again in case they've got a stone caught in the corner. And when they come in from the field, we wash the mud off their feet and we pick the feet out again. Handy hoof pick in my back pocket, always there, so you can always find one. And then one of the main things that we might look at is giving them a hoof supplement if we feel that they need it. We're lucky that we're sponsored by Equestrian products and we use Carabol biotin. I mean, basically you want a product that's got a biotin base, and that's going to feed the hooves and just encourage the growth and the condition of them. You could also use good old remedy, corny cresin. We put that on the top of the coronet band every day or every other day just to encourage growth again. So when we're here on the yard, before they go out riding, we also put a hoof grease on, which I shall demonstrate on Ted. Bit of protection and moisture to encourage the hoof to keep supple and not dry and break up. If we've got them living out overnight, which we do in the summer, they have the grease on before they're ridden, and then they have a normal hoof oil on before they go out in the field at night. And we do that because in the morning, even in the morning in the summer, it can be a bit dewy. It's really bad for the hooves when they get wet and dry. That can actually make them break up a little bit as well. So that's protection for when they go out into the field. With these shoes, when your horse is reshod for the next time, a really good idea, and we do it all the time, is to keep their spare set of shoes that comes off. These we take to the competition, and we take them to a normal one day, because if your horse loses a shoe there, you don't want a different shoe put on by a farrier that's never met your horse before, because often the foot will be made to fit the shoe, and we want the shoe to fit the foot. So we always keep a spare set that goes to a one day. You also have to remember, especially this time of the year, that you've got stud holes in. It's very easy, because in the winter you're not needing studs, not in eventing, because they're not competing. Very easy to take a spare set with no stud holes in, which is not very handy when you're trying to compete. And at a 3-day, we'd take 2 sets, because he could easily lose a shoe earlier on in the week, and then he could lose a shoe on cross country, so that at least we've got 2 sets spare in case we need them. So keep your spare shoes, very important. When they are shod here, we have a product that is actually a combination product. It's iodoform and eucalyptus oil. You do have to be careful with this, because when you make it up, then the iodoform is a bit toxic. So you should take precautions, protective gloves, possibly a mask as you make it up. What we do, we dribble it onto the clenches, because it's actually an antibacterial. And a lot of the breakup in horses' feet is because of bacteria. So we would put that on every time they're shod, and a couple of times a week if we could as well. Another problem with horses is, especially if they're stabled a lot, they could get quite thrushy. And thrush is basically a bacterial infection in the frog, and it goes very mushy, and they can even be lame with it. They can be quite sore. So what I do is I would clean it out with some Equestrian. We use this, it's a NAF product, and they help us a little bit. They sponsor the Team GB people. So that's a really good product that I like, and I would clean it out in the frog and the heels with some Q-tips. A little bit of a solution, Q-tips, and then you get right down into the centre of the frog. It's very easy to do. Then round to his foot. So we're picking up his foot here, run the hand down nice and gentle so we don't surprise him. And then we dip the Q-tip into the solution, and then you'd just get down in there in between the bulbs of his heel, He's actually got really good frogs and they're quite clean, so there's not any messy area there. And his cleft of his frog doesn't go very deep either. But some of them, they split right up here, so you can get right down there and clean out all the messy bit. You can also go down by the side and up into the seat of corn here. And then once I've done that, I will get my hydrogen peroxide. And I use about 1 millilitre per side of hoof. And then you would just squeeze it down the side. And as you can see, it's fizzing up a little bit there, which is all good because it's killing off any bacteria or germs. And you do that every day. And that clears the thrush up really well. There's lots of products on the market, but these are the products that I've found over the years have worked for me, and these are the ones that I like to use.